What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another different video. So today is a pretty exciting day because I've been invited to address the incoming class of 2022 m.eng students at Cornell University. It's really exciting. They've invited me to go on the panel and I'm going to talk to them. I really don't know how much of this I can record and what to expect. I've never done something like this, but I'm going to take you guys along with me, and I'm hoping to meet a lot of actually maybe people who watch the videos, and in general I think it's going to be a fun event. So let's go.
I don't want to stay here, no. Ain't gonna keep it low now. If you want to go, let's go. Let's wrap it up and hit the road. I just got an awesome vibe, striking the winner post now. Liberty's on my mind. We've taken off, we've left the ground. You gotta understand that we get one chance, one chance. You will never regret the things that we'll do. 'Cause I wanna try
to talk about how to get the most out of your m.eng experience. Catherine Casciano from ORIE is here to moderate, and Catherine and I went through all of your questions that you submitted. Thank you. Your networking starts right now. So really thankful for Mark Lenz, who's here to talk with us. Randy is here, and Gilbert has arrived, and Saloni is here. Thank you so much. And Newton will be on the panel as well. Newton's one of our m.eng directors. So thank you so much for joining us. Please come on up and take a seat. There's one
unbelievable base of alumni. The Master of Engineering program has been around for over 50 years. In fact, over 55 years now. Our alumni base is broad, our alumni base is deep. And one of the things that you will find is no matter where you go in the world, no matter where your career path takes you, you are going to find Cornell alumni, you are going to find m.eng alumni to help you along the way. We are absolutely delighted today to welcome Mark and Brandy and Gilbert and Saloni and my colleague, Professor Newton Gafaria from m.eng. Thank you all so much for taking the time to join us today on this special panel session for really making the most out of your m.eng experience. What recommendations do you have for how these new students can set priorities, how they can try and think about how do I get everything done within the time frame and kind of keep my sanity here? So Saloni, I'll ask you first.
Sure. So I would say don't wait until the last minute to start the job search. Definitely take advantage of literally every single resource that Jen mentioned in the presentation. Even if it's repetitive, it'll help you understand the whole process better. And that way, when it's actually time for you to get or find the job, you're not wasting time understanding what you need to do. You have that figured out. You're just, okay, I have everything ready to go. I just need to do this. It is definitely stressful managing academics and a job search. Specifically, if you're an international student, there's a lot of pressure. I would say kind of divide this up so that you're networking right from the get-go, not in the hope of directly reaching out to LinkedIn and saying, hey, I need a job, but more towards initiating conversation and actually trying to communicate and get to know someone. That way, later on, a couple months down the road, when it's time for you to actually ask, it's not a cold, hey, do you have a job for me? You have already spoken to the person. They may remember you, which is a huge plus. So that definitely helps. November or December would be a good time frame to definitely get serious on the job search, though. Yeah.
Thank you. I want to move on to one thing that all of the m.eng students here are going to share. Even though we're all in different disciplines, we have slightly different elements of our different programs and the different curricula. One thing that all m.eng students undertake is an engineering design project. And this is either individual, sometimes they're team-based. This is a really important experiential capstone of the program. Now, I think we can all agree, certainly when it comes to the professional arena, that project experience is important, extremely important. But I'd like to pick your brain a little bit, and actually I'm going to throw this out to you, Gilbert, and you, Saloni, first, about how you communicate the value of that. In particular, what tips do you have for good storytelling about your project experience? How can students tell their project stories in an interview in a way that really sort of showcases their skills and their value? What tips do you have for that?
Let's see. So if I'm telling a story about my project, I would, I'm sure a lot of you are going to interview at Amazon throughout this year. They like to follow something called the STAR method, which is situation, task, approach, and results. And I think that's a good guideline for storytelling, laying out the challenge, what's been tried before, what is your approach, how did you come about it, what did you do, and then really what were the key results. And I think that if you add in some enthusiasm, maybe some theatrics, it'll make for some good storytelling.
Thank you. So having that structured framework for unfolding the story. Saloni, anything to add to that?
To add to that, I would say that, and this is something that we learned in the m.eng program, is having a clear problem statement. So when you're actually explaining your project, the person you're explaining this to understands the exact problem you're trying to solve. And in addition to all the technical details and storytelling, I would say pick like 1 or 2 challenges that you faced, you and your team, how you went about to solve that, and what issues you faced along the way. It shows your approach as an engineer to critical thinking. It shows your ability and interpersonal skills. It actually shows those things rather than you having to be like, oh, I'm a good team worker or I have good leadership skills. So that's something that shows like the attitude of you, and I think that that's something that's super important.
Fantastic, thanks. So picking sort of 1 or 2 little vignettes or anecdotes that you can really drill down on to showcase. I love that. And give us some insight into how you feel like the m.eng program experience has impacted your career path. How has it impacted your life? A lot of these people want to know, gee, this m.eng, this 1 year, does this really make a difference? Is it really worth it? And I'd love to hear your perspectives on the impact that it's had on you. So, Saloni, we'll start with you thus far.
Sure. So I feel like the m.eng program, in addition to helping me on my technical and critical thinking abilities, which it definitely does, you're going to struggle and really have some really long nights with assignments and homework. But in addition to that, I feel like it's made me a more confident person. I've definitely grown, and I still use a lot of the things that were taught to me in the class in my job. I implemented bi-weekly scrum meetings, 15-minute stand-ups on Monday mornings. Like all those ideas came from things that professors used to make us do in class. So it's like very little things. You just need to, pay attention to them, keep them in the back of your mind, and eventually it's like a life lesson that even though it's just like less than a year worth of degree, you will definitely not forget it for the rest of your life. So.
I hope if you all are able to, you will stick around and join us at the tents outside. If not, I hope we will see you again throughout the course of this year. And thank you all for joining. I'm going to hand things back now.
I don't wanna stay here, no. Ain't gonna keep it low now. If you wanna go.
Vlog करती नहीं हूँ, but I'll try. So how are you guys liking the first few days?
They're good, pretty cool stuff, and a lot of resources out here at Cornell.
It's like it's all there, but then like खुद जाके करना पड़ता है. That's the one
Yeah,
thing. Like they won't come to you. Like that's the one thing. Yeah.
And my experience have been like Newton sir is very amazing, Belinda is very amazing. So courses का भी कुछ मेरे को ज़्यादा समझ नहीं आ रहा है because I'm coming from very different background. Very like India से इधर आना directly it's very different.
What background are you coming from?
I'm coming from a biomedical engineering background, but the culture there is different from the culture here. It's a culture shock for me.
Did they tell you about the 2 pathways yet?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the
Professional
biggest.
path and this path. So what I'm doing, I'm going for a professional path for 2 years to experience the industrial culture here, and then I will start a startup of there.
Nice, cool, very nice.
Same plan for me, like down the line, but I want to get into the industry first.
Definitely, yeah. Belinda has a list of alumni students and where they work with their contacts. Get that.
Yeah.
Hey guys, so we wrapped up the event and it's about like 7 p.m. So many people, like literally about 150 to 200 people were m.eng students this year, and not just like biomedical, like everything. I met with the biomedical m.eng group, and engineering management seems like a super popular course this semester. I met with so many Indians there. Like a lot of people actually came up and like said that they watched the videos, which is like amazing. I felt really good that the videos have been helpful to so many people. And it was a great interaction. सब लोग अपने future के बारे में worried हैं कि like job मिलेगी या नहीं. So I was able to like talk to them, give them some very valuable advice on how they can use Cornell resources and stuff. But overall, it was like very like fulfilling and amazing experience to be back on campus. Back with like just excitement of new students coming in, and I think this is like the first week that they've started classes, so they're still deciding what type of projects they want to work on, and they're worried about whether they're making the right decision, what courses they should take. So yeah, like just a lot of advice and a lot of talking, networking. Even now, like I love to like meet you guys, so if anyone is in like the Ithaca area for now until I come to India, just come and say hi. Like it just makes me so happy to know that anything that I've said has been helpful to you guys. But overall, like there's still some people in the background, probably you can see. They're all eating food. Cornell, the one thing that is like I'm super happy about is they give a ton of free food at every single event. There's literally like a 3-course taco meal that was there, and there's a huge line. We got a little bit of the food in the towards the end, but yeah, so great networking session overall. And I think that's a wrap. So this was the first panel that I did back on campus as an alumni, and it was amazing. Now a little bit about like the m.eng program that I did. Unlike most master's programs, it's actually just 1 year as opposed to 2 years, and it's very fast paced because as soon as you come in, you have to do your projects, you have to do your assignments, you have to do your courses, and it's really stressful. So it's different than other master's degree programs. It's 1 year, but I feel like it's super valuable because you can choose if you want to work in like an industry, or if you want to go into like research based academics. That's something that you can do too. Another like interesting person that I kind of met today was the BME m.eng program director, Dr. Newton DeFaria, and he was actually on the panel with all of us sitting there. And let me know in the comments below if you guys would like a whole like Cornell University BME department tour. I'll see if I can make it happen. I'm not promising anything, but I can kind of like show you a little bit of what I got to experience. So maybe if that's something that's valuable to you, if you're a prospective student who actually wants to come into the BME department at Cornell, it'll give you a good insight. Maybe we can get in some words from Dr. Newton himself. So let me know that in the comments below if you want to see that video. I'll try to make it happen.